Welcome back to the CD Financial Podcast, CD Financial, where health meets wealth. I'm Marcus C, your host. That man across from me is Chuck D. Chuck, my man, how you doing?
Shaka, brah. I'm, I'm doing good. Good enough. Let me
did,
just
did,
say good enough, okay?
did you just
Hey,
get back from Hawaii, or were you out on some tasty waves? And what's going on, man?
I live in SoCal, man. There's enough dudes around me and some of them are my friends. So
Some of them might be related to you too. Some
I
of the
don't
surfer
know
boys
about
might
that.
be.
No, not typically. No, no, not this half Lebanese, half Slovak from Pittsburgh. Not usually, but that doesn't exclude your ethnicity
That's
from
right.
from being a dude. Yeah.
Yeah. Once you're out in the waves, we're all dudes. We're all broths.
Yeah, sharing the Stoke. Have you heard that before? Sharing the Stoke.
I probably have. I don't remember it.
It's on license plate covers and stuff. Sharing the Stoke.
Yeah.
It's one dude on his plate. It said it was a pickup truck, probably a Tacoma. That's like the truck, and
Yep.
it says Baja Sur or something. Sharing the Stoke, right? So there's um there's a lot of guys and gals that go down to Baja California. That peninsula
Yep.
that stretches way down and basically creates the Sea of Cortez on the west coast of Mexico, just below San Diego. And there's a lot of surf, and there's camping, and there's even
Mhm.
I guess some mountain bikers. They'll take their bikes down there and fishing, and yeah, even whale watching. But there's a lot that just go down there with their trucks and throw a tent on the sand and do their thing.
Right near Ensenada. I have a friend who has family down there in Ensenada. Always talking about how great the seafood is.
Oh
But I do
yeah,
know a lot of surfing goes on.
yeah, yeah. So sharing the stoke means just enjoying the good times or the excitement with everybody, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Sure. Well,
yeah.
that's what we do every time we get together here, you and I. Sharing the stoke, baby. We may not be riding waves, but we are sharing the stoke.
Sure. So you could ride some mountain with me, man. I've gone up twice in the last month, and I'm thinking about doing it again here real soon. Yeah. And you know what I want to do? I want to ride the sand dunes.
Oh yeah, I've always wanted to do that.
I want to try that out at least, but I think if you wipe out on sand,
Yeah.
scratchy,
It
dusty.
it's
Yeah.
not fluffy. It's definitely not fluffy. And if you've gone to the beach, which we all have, right? And you have that little you take off the swim trunks and you have that half pound of sand that came home with you every single time. Yeah, I can't imagine wiping out on sand dunes, what that's gonna be like.
Wipe out.
Well, you know what? I just sense another idea for another podcast. You and me riding the dunes. We'll do it. Hey,
Live. We'll go live. Whatever they do on Facebook Live or Instagram Live.
yeah, that's right, baby. Live streaming from the sand
Actually,
dunes.
there's a couple bases that I've taught at that are right out there by the dunes on the border of Cali and Arizona. So,
This is
oh, the
happening.
Imperial. It's called the Imperial Sand Dunes. That's
Imperial.
right. They're impressive.
Yeah, Imperial
Big,
Valley.
big sand dunes there.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
big, and there's not much of anything else but sand dunes. I mean, I tell
doubled
you.
as the planet Tatooine, if I'm not mistaken, right? On Star Wars,
Oh, you could be right.
I think it is those sand dunes.
Yeah, cool.
I'm
Shaka, brah.
sensing an episode, Chuck. I'm sensing it.
What's on your mind today, Marcus? Your
All
so-called
right.
mind.
All right, all right. Since we're already talking about dangerous activities, let's talk about dangers. What about dangers of retiring too early?
Wow, that was a very smooth segue. I got to tell you.
That was not a 90-degree turn at all.
No. What are the dangers of retiring too early?
Yes.
That okay, there's two really. That
Hmm.
you might run out of money before you run out of life,
Okay.
um, and you might drain your retirement funds too soon. And
Yep.
then, actually, thirdly, inflation. It
Yeah,
can
and that's
really erode your retirement savings as well.
yeah, and that's kind of the one that I really wanted to focus on for this episode's inflation because uh, we hear it, if not daily, constantly, right? We're hearing about inflation and the dangers, the effects, and especially because we deal with retirement plans, right? We need to have understand inflation and how to deal with it. So I think a great place to start is what is inflation? We hear it all the time, but I mean,
All
can we
right.
can we define it? Can we put something to it?
Let's do the AI overview from Google.
Beautiful.
Inflation is a general increase in the prices of goods and services
Yeah.
in an economy over time, which leads to a decrease in the purchasing power of money. Okay, let's talk about the purchasing power of money.
Yep.
Inflation basically, when things are hot and the economy is uh, is stimulated, then the prices of things go up because there's a big demand and
Yep.
not as much supply. So naturally, people take the prices of their goods and services up because they can.
As they can.
And when
Yeah.
they do that, the value of the dollar decreases because they've just increased how much everything costs.
Yep.
That's one reason for inflation.
Yeah.
That demand, um, the the economy gets so hot that sometimes the Federal Reserve might crank up money, right?
Hmm.
And they'll circulate more dollars into the system, which will reduce the value of the dollar as well. And
Yeah.
why that happens, is because again, there's more dollars than you need, and so the dollar then devalues because there's more of them. If there were
Yeah.
less dollars, then the dollar would be worth more. If there's 100, if there's 100 buckets of chicken, they're gonna and they garner 25 bucks a bucket of chicken, right? Okay.
Yeah.
But if you got suddenly 500 or 1,000 buckets of chicken,
Yeah.
they may not actually be worth 25 or 30 bucks anymore. It might only be worth 15 to $17.
Yeah.
But with
Unless you visit one of my family reunions, in which case, charge what you want. The buckets of chicken will disappear.
I was just gonna say, a bucket of chicken now might cost like 55 bucks at KFC. I don't even know.
I don't
I
know.
mean, used to be cheaps, but I don't know about anything being cheap anymore,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
it's and now look, Marcus, now it's more inflation now is more pronounced than ever. So if you're going to retire, let's say you take an early retirement and you go at
Hmm.
52, 55, and your pension stays static. Let's say you take it at 52 and you
Hmm.
don't receive a cost of living adjustment in your pension. You're a federal employee till you're 62. For 10 years, your pension stayed static. It did not go up. It did not increase. That's no bueno.
Yeah.
That's no good for you. Later in life, you're going to feel the effects of that.
Yeah.
And if you're not gone in your early 70s, it's going to be an issue, right? And what's more is the typical average inflationary increase on a federal pension, and by the way, CalPERS,
Hmm.
California Public Employee Retirement System, and other PERS as well, PIRA, it's 2%, right? So 2%'s not that's not pacing inflation. They can tell you inflation's roughly around 2% prior to the, COVID and everything, but it's always been more than that, right?
Yeah.
So as it is, inflation was already an enemy on your cost of living adjustment for your pension, but now it could be a big enemy if you retire early.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've discussed retiring early, right? And we want we discuss quality of life. I mean, that's always the big thing is retirement planning, retiring early, retiring how you want to is about quality of life. And that's always the focus, why we say where health meets wealth, right? Because it's not just saying I retired, it's saying I'm retired and I'm in a good spot. So then I think that begs the question, how can I protect my retirement plan?
Well, I wanted to mention about inflation.
Hmm.
If we can still talk about that a little bit, I wanted to
Sure.
illustrate. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, like you've heard me say when I found $20 in my jeans back in high school, and I
Yeah.
was like, score. What? I mean, like I never misplaced money, and I just happened to have a $20 bill in a pair of jeans. That was huge. I filled my Buick Skylark with a tank full of gas.
Yep.
I was able to buy a burger and fries and a Coke at King's Family Restaurants in Pittsburgh, and I was able to tip the waitress all for 20 bucks. Um, if I let me illustrate something to you.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I mean, what can you do now? How can you fill up your tank a tank full of gas for 20 bucks. That ain't gonna
By the
happen,
way,
right?
Buick Skylark in the 80s, right? You're talking about a huge tank. So to put 20 bucks in there and have money left over, that's
Right? Exactly,
unheard of.
right? It's a big old tank, a V8
Yeah.
engine. It was a I wish it was a 4 barrel. It was not, right? That would have been cool because then it would have really moved out. Like my brother-in-law had a Olds Omega or something.
Uh-huh.
Uh, yeah, or it was the Buick version of the Olds Omega, and that thing moved out. It had a 4 barrel, and it looked like a little mom and pop sedan, but it sucked the gas when you did that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, oh right. So pre-COVID, let's talk
Yeah.
about pre-COVID lunches. Pre-COVID, so I buy lunches at the office for the entire staff daily. So
Mhm.
lunches pre-COVID, we could get a good lunch for 10 to 11 bucks, sometimes even $9. So
Per-
if there were four of us, the on the team that we're eating, the total bill would be, I don't know, with tax and tip, maybe 43 to 48 bucks tops, right?
yeah.
You want to guess? The other day, Valerie went and got us No Nos. It's a really good Mexican restaurant close by.
Uh,
And by the time she was done picking up the tab and maybe tipping a few dollars, guess how much the bill was?
more than 40 bucks, I'll tell you that. More than 48 bucks.
She was shocked. She said, Charles, lunch was $96.
Wow. Yeah.
She said, that was before I tipped. She goes,
Yeah.
$100 for lunch? And that wasn't even for all five of us. It was just for four of us. Somebody was out that day, and Kelly's in New Jersey on the East Coast, so I mean we don't have to buy her lunch. So I mean, that's like, wow,
She
that's
ran out
in,
and get a slice.
yeah, you get a slice. That's right. That's folks. That's inflation.
Yeah.
In a short period of time, prices doubled on certain things. That's a lot of cheddar. I
Yeah.
mean, that is a lot of money to see go out. That's the purchasing power of your dollar
Yeah.
dissipating. So
You,
that's a major concern, right?
yeah.
Inflation.
So
Yeah.
you're over in California. Do you remember? I don't know if you've ever been to Carl's Jr.'s. You ever go to Carl's Jr.'s? I don't. You're not a fast food guy. You're like me. You don't usually. But
No,
they
when I
used to
do,
have
I go to In and Out.
In and Out. They used to
Yeah.
have on their menu. I don't know if they still do. It's been years since I've been. What they call the $6 burger, right? Is because it was a bigger. It's supposed to be a fancy, right? You're not paying $2 for a burger. You're paying six. Well, you're paying less, but it's the value, right? It's a $6 burger. It's supposed to be
Right.
pricey, expensive. $6 burger these days would be a bargain, man. You'd buy two of those because you could, because you're not getting $6 burgers
Yeah,
anymore.
I wonder. I meant to ask Gia what we spent today on lunch. It was just the two of us on Fridays, and
Yeah,
we had fries and sweet potato fries and a burger apiece. I'd love for him to yell and say, "Hey, this is what we spent." Yeah, because I'd love to know that. Yeah, maybe he'll pop in and tell me.
yeah.
Um,
Anyway,
yeah,
the 20 bucks in your pocket ain't covering it anymore. You better find hundreds in your pockets. Maybe go through other people's pockets, see what you can find there.
so what was that thing you asked me? Oh, how do you combat it?
Well, how do you
Yeah.
protect your? Yeah, we're because we're talking about retirement plans. So how do we protect your retirement plan? Because inflation is
Okay.
going to happen.
Right. So I
Yeah,
mean, maybe. Now, don't find this sinful when I say it. Maybe you get a part-time job so you don't
yeah,
have to tap your retirement savings, and you can let that season and grow for a longer period of time. So that's one idea.
yeah. And I will just interject with a little bit on that because we keep saying, or I keep saying it. Maybe it's not you so much. But we're going to do a top 20 jobs to do in your retirement. And I think what you see is, for the most part, people retire at an age where they still want to do something. What they don't want is to feel obligated to work, right?
That's right.
They
Yes.
want to feel like now I can pursue what I want to do. And I've always mentioned, working at Starbucks because of the benefits, but I see some people who work there and I think they enjoy the camaraderie of seeing the same faces, and you're making coffee and you're chit-chatting all day. At least that's how I see it. Maybe I'm too much of an optimist or dreamer,
No,
but
no.
I think that there's something to be said about doing something like that in your retirement, to where you're just, yeah, you're getting paid, but you're doing something you just enjoy, right?
Yes, I think so too. And you're like it's like being at Cheers.
Yeah,
Everybody knows your name, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come with
So,
me
and
to
you love
Starbucks here. Everybody knows my name. I guarantee you.
right? And you love people, so they
Yeah.
know it, right? And so they're like,
Yeah.
"Hey, what's up, Marcus? What's up, Mark?" Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, let me put it in perspective. Maybe. Um, let's say you're doing something that, like you said,
Yep.
Marcus, is something that you're not obligated to go do, but you can do it, like working at Starbucks because you love people and you like to see the same people every day.
Yeah.
Um, you might even just be bringing in 1,500 a month, but if you're bringing that in net and you're churning, let's say you needed 1,500 a month, you might have to withdraw 1,900 a month to net 1,500 a month. If you're
Yeah.
a state that taxes uh, withdrawals from your retirement income, it might be more like 2,100 a month just to get your net 15. But you
Yep.
might have a part-time job where you enjoy going to work. You're only
Yeah.
doing it part-time. And it's like, what did you say, Marcus, earlier? You said, well, people don't want to retire to nothing.
Right. Right.
They want to retire to something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so, it keeps you busy. I recall a gentleman over a decade ago, maybe longer than that. It might even been 15 years ago. And he said to me, Charles, I was working with him from Department of Treasury. He said, he had a stressful job. And he said, I don't want to think or do anything. He said to me, I want to get a job at Dodger Stadium and I want to hand out programs. To me,
Yeah.
that's for me, that's mindless. That's so easy to do. And I'm around the sport and the team that I love. And
Yeah.
I'm outdoors. So he loved the idea. Um, I have a DEA agent that I work with now, him and his wife,
Yeah.
and he's retiring this summer. Guess what? He says he wants to get a part-time job. He's going a little bit early. They're forced out law enforcement at 57, but he's
Yeah.
going a few years earlier. And he says, you know what? I'm getting a job at Trader Joe's. And I go, you are? I go, why? He goes, because everybody in there, Charles, is so happy. And when I
Yeah.
ask them, what do you like about this job? Why are you so happy? And they go, oh, all the people that I work with, they're just awesome. It's great working here. And he goes, that's what I want to do. I don't want to
Yeah.
I don't want to carry a gun and worry about seizing somebody and always watching my back and being concerned about this project or that. He goes, no, no, no. It's
Yeah.
Trader Joe's for me.
Yeah.
He's in great shape too, by the way. So that works for him. Oh, here's
That
another
it sounds
job.
like, before you get to the next one, sounds like a
Yeah,
great setup for a movie, right? You have the guy working at Trader Joe's and somebody gets kidnapped or something and he goes after. Anyway, we'll talk about movie ideas. That's another
he'll
podcast. Go
be
ahead.
retired
Sorry to
now,
interrupt.
but maybe I don't know. Maybe he'll keep his concealed weapon permit. I don't know because those guys can get it usually because
Yeah.
they were already federal agents. Um, what else was there? Oh, there's a part-time job. I met a guy at the big outdoor mall here, the Spectrum Mall, and
Uh-huh.
he was retired. He was retired Department of Defense and Special Forces too previously, then civilian, and then he runs his own security, right? But it's for celebrities and
Yeah.
wealthy folks, and he says just to be able to have a license to carry. He says that's usually enough to deter anybody that's acting stupid. And he
Yeah.
does that part time. He's got a good reputation, but that might be a little stressful. To him, it wasn't, but to others, it might be.
Yeah.
Um, oh, so he works. Oh, he's a chief engineer. Okay, so he's an engineer. I mean,
Okay.
really, you
Yep.
know, uh, uh, intelligent folks when you think of engineers, right? For
Yep.
the Navy, civilian employee for the Navy. Guess what? He's already bussing tables at a
Interesting.
local restaurant. He
Yeah.
says it's easy for me. It's mindless. I
Yeah.
just have to go in there. It keeps me, he said, it keeps me in shape. Now,
Yeah.
he's 61, about to be 62, and he says he's in great shape. All these guys, actually, I think of,
Yeah.
except for the fellow that handed out programs. He's in, they're in good shape. And he said, that's what I want to do, Charles. I want to bust tables. Guess what? People see me and they call out my name and they know me
Yeah.
and I know them now. He goes, I really like it. So it's kind of like your Starbucks thing.
Yeah.
He goes,
Yeah.
I think I go, that's pretty funny because if they ever start talking to you, they're going to find out you're an engineer for U.S. Navy and you're
And you're
busting
bussing tables.
tables on the sides. I think it's Friday nights or something and Sunday or something. I can't remember what it is, but he likes the job. It keeps him busy and he likes the interaction with people.
Yeah, and I would dare say a lot of bartenders and service staff and things. They're people who just they do it because they love it. The money can be really good, but a lot of them do it because they love it because you hang out with people all day. And I would dare say too, because we work with federal employees, I don't think most federal employees are in a job that they absolutely love. It just happened to be, it was an opportunity. There was opportunity for growth. There was opportunity for investing in your future, having a good retirement plan. But once you're retired, okay, you've left a job that maybe you didn't love, was good to you, but maybe you didn't love it. Now do something you love. Maybe it won't pay as much, but you're doing something that you enjoy doing. And every day you get up with that purpose or with that, fun. Hey, I'm going to the restaurant today. We're going to go hang out for a few hours with all my friends, or the coffee shop, or wherever it is, Trader Joe's. I mean,
Uh-huh.
wherever it's going to be for you.
I think it's like you said. They don't feel obligated to do it.
Yeah.
It it's a luxury, so let's do it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
if you have a good retirement plan, now when I go on vacation, hey, I'm taking a couple weeks off from Starbucks. I'm not vacationing like a Starbucks employee. I'm vacationing like someone with a retirement plan, and I go to do something nice, right?
That's the key right
Yeah,
there. If you have a plan, then you can leave your TSP or IRA 401k. You can leave it alone, and you don't have to drain it down. And then some years later, and maybe not that many, it could really have blossomed and be there for you, and it'll be a major hedge to inflation, which is what
yeah,
we talked about.
yeah,
Retiring early, it could catch you in a problem where you're draining your retirement savings too soon, and you don't want to drain money that's losing ever. You don't want
yeah.
to touch it. So you have to separate the money for income from the money that's
For
there for
investment.
growth.
Yeah,
Yeah. And so if you can separate the two, then more power to you. You want to do that, but you need a plan. And then you'll know, hey, Charles, will my money last as long as I do? And we can test it with the software. The team can help too. And we'll see with the
yeah,
different scenarios what it looks like.
yeah. And ideally, it's not just your money lasting as long as you do. It's lasting past you do. Hopefully, you have a very long life, and when you're
Well,
done,
yeah.
there's something left for the kids or the wife or whoever it is that you're leaving the money to.
Well,
You
and you
you
want to
have the quality
maintain
of
a
life. Yeah,
yeah, and quality of life. You want to maintain that standard of living, or
yeah,
maybe even an enhanced standard of living,
yeah. Hopefully,
because it has been found that retirees sometimes spend more money because they have more time to go out to eat, they have
yeah.
more time to travel, more time to go see family members and grandkids and what have you. Yeah, and do the projects that they didn't have beforehand. So,
Yes.
yeah, get a plan in place. Figure out what it is, how much you're going to have to make, what percentage you have to pull from your retirement savings or not pull. And even
Yeah,
when you get to that legitimate, let's say 62, 65, 67 retirement age, maybe that part-time job, even if it's $500 or $600 a month, you'd be amazed
some.
at how much that can help your psyche and
Yeah,
your emotional well-being and your connection with your local community and also your portfolio too
right.
and your monthly expenses.
Right,
Yeah,
right. And again, as we always say, get someone on your side who knows about this stuff, right, to help you plan out, make you inflation proof, as inflation proof as any of us can be, right? Because that's what we want is that peace of mind, knowing these things are going to happen. Inflation's going to happen. But if you have a good plan in place, you have someone on your side, you have the peace of mind of moving forward, and that it won't break me, right? I'll feel it. Everybody feels inflation, but it won't break me. I'll still enjoy that quality of life moving forward through my retirement.
there you
Good,
go.
good
Yeah,
stuff. You do you have a health tip? If not, I have a health tip for today.
bring it, Marcus. We want to hear your health tip.
Giddy up. So lately in my life, family life, we take care of family, and we've had a lot of situations coming up, and just sometimes you get to that point where it's like, okay, I need to do something. So what we do is try to get to a coast. I don't live by a coast. I'm not like you. I don't live by the coast. But what we've found is getting to the coast, just getting to the ocean, is so beneficial mentally and physically. And I've read a lot on the benefits of salt water and ocean water, the healing properties, the ionization. But sometimes for me, it's just getting next to the ocean and hearing the sound of the waves and feeling the breeze come off and just smelling that ocean air. It suddenly, I can turn my all those things running through my head, all those little hamsters on their wheels, right, going crazy in there, can shut them off for a while, and just relax. And I sense a relaxation as soon as I see the ocean and just, coming close to it. To me, just that is healing. But there's actual physical benefits that have been studied of getting into ocean water. It's very healing. I know you know the healing properties of ocean water too. I know
I
we've
do
dealt with
enjoy it. Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And you're right. And if it's cold, like the Pacific is cold,
Yes.
um, even down here in SoCal, um, it's really a cold plunge at the same time that
Yeah.
a salinization, right?
Yeah.
And a salt rinse. So you get multiple benefits of it, right? Yeah.
Yep.
In the Gulf, if you go down to the Gulf, Marcus,
I
not so
do.
much. It's a little bit warmer, right?
It's
Yeah.
warmer water. Yep.
Yeah.
The nice thing is though, December. If we go in December, January, you can still get in the water comfortably. It's gonna be colder outside than it is in the water.
How about that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good stuff.
Yeah.
So get to
Okay.
the ocean, folks. If you're
That's
feeling it, like I was a couple weeks ago, if you're feeling it, get your feet in the water. Just go to the ocean, as if you can, and get your feet in the water and listen to the waves and feel that good salt air and good salt water on your body. You'll thank us for it later.
right on. So, Marcus, if somebody wants to get hold of us, can they?
Absolutely, they can. You have the phone number handy. Of course, they can text your name, first and last name, right, and email address
To
to
949-359-5100. 949-359-5100, and we'll
yeah.
get hold of you. Oh, it's a 15-minute phone call. We know what it is. When you text your name and your email, we know exactly what it is. We get hundreds of those. So we'll see it, and we'll get you on the calendar inside of a week, or at most inside of a week, typically. You're going to be on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And otherwise, we have a link below. You can also click on that link to get a hold of us. And we always recommend you subscribe too, because as things are changing, we're talking about a topic today, inflation, it's in the front of everybody's mind these days. Things are changing fast. We will touch on these topics, and as soon as they do, you're going to get the information straight to you if you're subscribed. So please click that subscribe button as well. Chuck, as always, my man, it's a pleasure chatting with you. I think it's a lot of fun, even when we're talking about some serious topics. It's always a good time. So thank you for your time. And folks, thank you for tuning in. We always appreciate you here at the CD Financial Podcast, CD Financial, where health meets wealth. I'm Marcus C. as your host. Thank you again for joining. That man is Chuck D. Chuck, thanks for your time, brother.
Hey, thanks, Marcus. Appreciate you all. We'll
See you
talk
next
soon.
time.